you. All right. Well, I'm so excited today that, as Angie pointed out, we have three wonderful speakers. And to kick us off today, she usually is in Arizona, but she's traveling and working even on the weekends. So Trish Albertson is currently in Utah working hard as ever. In fact, she's been working in network marketing for the past 27 years, of which 15 of it has been as a leader. I personally has known Trish and Eric, her husband, before ACTIVZ. And I can tell you that not only are they great leaders, they're even more wonderful people that truly have changed as leaders thousands and thousands of lives for the better, both from a financial standpoint, also from a health standpoint. They're the shining example of what exactly a leader needs to be. She's the proud mother of four children. And she actually, before network marketing, she worked as an optical tech and also self-employed. But her passion for network marketing ever since is like no other. And that's why both her and her husband, Eric, has been working in this industry for, like I mentioned, the past 27 years. So without ado, Trisha will be presenting, as Angie pointed out, back to the basics.
Good Saturday morning. My name is Trish, and I'm so excited I get to spend a little bit of time with you today. I'm grateful that you're taking some time out for this active school and that you're seeing the potential to build a sizable business here with us at ACTIVZ. So my goal today is, whether you're brand new and just starting out, I want to put your feet on the road to the basic steps that you need to do to build your business. If you've been in for a little while and it's time to take a self-evaluation and maybe make a restart, I want to be able to put your feet on that path as well. So look at this from whatever path you're starting on. It's all basically the same journey, but some of you might just be getting on the path and stay on the path, and others of you need to put your feet back on the path. So whatever place you're at is totally fine. We've been in both, and there's no right or wrong, but the steps have to be taken in order to be able to create a sizable income. So whether you came into the business seeing the dream of maybe having more freedom, more financial security, control of your time again, maybe being able to leave a legacy for people to remember you by, or to leave something behind for your family, your children, your grandchildren, or maybe just to make a difference while you're on this planet. Maybe that's what brought you to ACTIVZ. But some people just caught a glimpse of hope and, maybe jumped after the product or decided to give it a shot, but they've kind of forgotten, and they kind of go back quickly to what they were doing before they found ACTIVZ. Some people actually get talked into being a distributor, and they really should just remain customers, and that's okay. They don't understand what they hold in their hands. And those are people I just don't encourage. I don't suggest everybody encourage every person to be a distributor. This is for people that want to own a business and really want to build something. So wherever you're at, this is going to show you the road that you need to take to make it a big business. This may not be for you, but there are still some basic steps, even if you're just somebody who wants to poke at it, or if somebody that's here kind of by accident. So hopefully this will relate to all of you. Too many people, they'll get into network marketing and they treat it like a hobby. So it kind of gives the industry a bad rap. A lot of people see people getting in, not making anything, or spending more than they're making. It would be kind of like planning a trip to Tahiti or to someplace that you've always wanted to go, packing your bag, making the arrangements. In this business, that's buying your start package and, committing. But then you get to the airport or you get into your ACTIVZ business and the actions aren't taken to be a successful journey. So too many people get into network marketing and it's as if they're sitting on a plane driving around the tarmac, or sitting still on the tarmac and never even leaving for their destination. That's what we want to help you avoid today. So what makes the difference between being stuck on the ground and actually getting to Tahiti? What makes the difference between joining a network marketing company and making a sizable income residually through network marketing? Kind of similar to a plane, it's expended energy. A plane's not going to get off the ground unless it puts in a huge burst of gasoline and energy to get that propulsion to move it forward and off the ground. The same thing is true with this industry. Every leader that I've ever talked to had to put in a launch period at some point to get their business off the ground. And we've done the same thing. Sometimes it's done at the very beginning when somebody gets in. Sometimes you have to do a restart and put in a burst of energy at that point, but it's unavoidable. People that just kind of plod along and put in a little bit here and a little bit there are just driving around on the tarmac. They're never going to get there. So if that's you and you're just not sure why you're not getting there, it's probably because you've been either consistently or inconsistently putting in little bits of energy, but not enough to get it going. So whether you're brand new or you're needing that reset, the basic steps don't change. They're the same. There has to be that burst of energy in the beginning. So in ACTIVZ, that looks like putting a lot of people in front of the information at one time or within a very short period of time. The company actually recognizes this, and they've created the 500 Club for people in their first 90 days to go and sign up 10 people. That's that burst of energy to get your business off the ground. They're incentivizing it for you. They also just added our new bonus where if you sign up 3 people in the first 30 days, you're going to get extra money, an extra $80 for signing up those people on top of all the other money you're already getting. Plus, you're going to get money the next month when they launch correctly, and you're going to get money when they engage properly and are doing their auto ship the next month. So those are things we should be doing anyway, but the company's incentivizing them with money in your pocket. So why would we not help our people launch and get out of the gate correctly? So that thrust in the right direction in this company is making your list, do it quickly, make it as long as you can. We suggest 100 to 200 names because so many people just aren't reachable right now. And it's about finding the people who are ready right now. It's all about timing. If somebody tells you no, they're really not telling you no, because who doesn't want help or financial benefits? But it might not be the right time in their life. So when I hear a no, I hear not now, and I go on to the next person. I don't take it personally. It's just not the right time in their life. And I don't want to be dragging anybody into being a distributor here at ACTIVZ. It's either right for them or it's not. And that's okay. But then you need to contact those people and put them in front of the information quickly. So if you are the enroller, we suggest helping your brand new person set up something that they can invite to, because it's very frustrating to be inviting people to see information and then you don't know what to say. You don't know what to tell them. And that's not your job as a brand new person. You don't have to be the information. You have to take them and put them in front of the information. And whether that's a video, we have a presentation that's available at ACTIVZpresentation.com. Sorry, no gap there. ACTIVZpresentation.com. And you can send them that and they can see the information if a video is going to work out best with their crazy schedule. Even better, though, is if you can get them live with an upline or somebody who is confident in sharing the presentation, or get them, in front of a Zoom. There's lots of different options, but if you'll help really most different approach money
Hello, everyone. Are you guys seeing the same thing I did? Did it just stop?
Yeah, She must have encountered some issues there.
Uh-oh. Okay. If Trisha's on.
So I'm actually on, Stu. I sent in a recording because I didn't know where I was going to be and where service would be. So
Oh, it's back on.
somehow
Sorry.
it's probably
I just
with the
needed to be
recording.
co-host. I don't have the ability to share my screen. Both Angie and myself have it queued up just in case. She said her internet might be spotty, so she started sharing. But if you could make me co-host, Trish, I can share my screen. I have it queued up. That's why as well.
Yeah, I have to take it off. You can put it back on. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's not letting me transfer for some reason.
Isn't technology great?
I
While we're
think I
waiting,
gave
you will
away
ask-
all my hosting abilities, Stu. I don't have that anymore. I gave it to Angie. And there's somebody else on as a co-host as well. So I don't have that ability to transfer.
Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I apologize. I've been having really bad internet on my. So I'm going to go back a little bit and we're going to start this again.
Did yours mess up?
Reach somebody, and then follow up with those people. Find out what they liked best about what they heard. Figure out where their hot buttons are. Are they most excited by the fact that it's omni-channel and it's a different approach to network? They can earn money through the profit sharing, through all the different volume coming in around the world. Are they excited about the timing? Are they excited about a specific product? Your people. The goal is to help them to be able to achieve their goals. If they just want to work on their health, let them be a customer until they're ready to engage in something bigger. We don't need to have everyone looking for those that get it. So we're answering their concerns, we're answering their questions. If you're brand new and you don't know how to do that, we don't expect to throw you into the deep end. You have a support team for that. Call one of your upline support members and ask them if they'd be available to do an answer question call or a follow-up call with you. You need to be there and taking note, be learning from the things that you're hearing, because soon it will be your turn to do that for your group. So listen and figure out what the answers are to their questions, but we want to answer their questions and concerns and then enroll them and then help them start doing the same thing.
And I apologize, everyone. We're going to try to turn this over to Stu because I believe my internet is still spotty. So we're going to see what we can do to get this working a little bit better.
Well, amazing. Technology is amazing until it isn't, right? In the meantime, I think just to get Noemi warmed up, maybe we ought to have her sing or do something for us. And maybe we get Matt to do it. Maybe these other guys do provide a little entertainment for us.
And you would think internet at home would be reliable, but these days with everyone working from home, I think our internet bandwidths are not as good as they used to be. Oh yes, yeah, we have a lot of activity in the area. It's our celebration days. It's our Bluffdale days. So a lot of activities going on in my location. So.
Angie, can you see my screen?
I sure can. Yes, you were good to go.
I will play it here. Ooh.
Apparently you and Angie, Hawaii and Bluffdale are using the same internet provider.
I just can't play it. What's going on here?
Successful distributors that we've launched
There we
have
go.
been people that put 10 or 12 people in front of us at their first.
No audio,
Susan
Steve.
there's no audio, Stu.
When you muted yourself, you muted.
Still no audio?
Yeah,
First, you got to find your business
Is there
partners.
audio now?
And like
Yes,
we talked
it-
about, you
when
can
you
do
mute yourself, you mute her
calls,
too.
presentations, three-way calls, Zoom presentations. There's tons of different ways. None of those are go share the information on your first day. You don't have to do that. You get to have this support team. But be prepared because you're going to want to be part of that process very quickly. Your business will grow faster once you are presenting. And there's not a rank that you need to reach to hit that point where you can start presenting, but you do need to have the belief, because we learned really early on that the person who has the strongest belief in the conversation will control the outcome of that conversation. So if you're not sure and you're just not getting a good response when you talk to people, probably because they can sense your insurity. And if you don't believe it, why would they believe it? And why would they want to work with you if you're just not quite sure? So the best thing you could do is work as a partnership with one of your upline and let them be the belief in the room so that you can sign somebody up, and that will add to your belief. And your belief will grow the more you use the products, the more you bring checks in, the more you bring business partners in, that belief grows. And before you know it, you will be taking part in building the business. The second step, like we talked about, is following up. We're not going to be pushy, but we are going to be persistent, and we want to listen and meet them where they're at, offer solutions. If they really are struggling with money, don't they really need this business? That shouldn't be an obstacle. That should be a reason why to build this business. If they're not sure about the products, isn't the best way to introduce them to some people that have had amazing results on the products and let them hear some testimonials and hear some results, and then try the products themselves and see them working and share them with people that need these products and see the results. If they're just not sure that they can do it, they have a support team that's going to walk with them until they're ready to run on their own. Follow up consistently and persistently every few days. You don't need to be in every hour or every single day. We don't want to push people away, but we don't want to let too much time go by, because either somebody else will come in and pluck your harvest, or they may just get cold feet and walk away and forget all about it because we weren't persistent enough. Now, if we're not following up and somebody else does reap our harvest, whose fault is that? It's the person who wasn't following up. Now, obviously, you don't want to be somebody that's plucking other people's people. So if you talk to somebody and they're already talking to somebody else, be respectful and honor that relationship, and just encourage them to sign up with the person that talked to them. This is all about helping everybody. And I truly believe that there are people that are earmarked to be your partners, your people. So if someone chooses to sign up somewhere else, they probably weren't meant for you. It's just practice. It was good experience for you to work with that person. Now go find the people that are meant for you and be persistent for as long as it takes. If you're not getting positive response, then it's probably either you're saying too much, saying not enough of the right things, or your belief isn't high enough. So in which case, bring in somebody that can help you make those closes until you're ready to do it on your own. The next step is to help your people. They're enrolled, they're getting going. They have that first 30 days from the day that they sign up, that clock starts ticking. Help them in signing up at least 3 people in those first 30 days. And hopefully we can get closer to 4 or 5 or 6, because again, we want to get that thrust, that launch of their business quickly so that they can be more successful. The next step is to teach your people. We want to teach them the skills that they need to build this business. Eventually, we want to teach them how to present, how to follow up so that they can answer the questions for their people's people, and how to lead a team, how to encourage their people to hit ranks, and how to be able to monitor the charts in the back office and all the things that are necessary. They might even need to learn some basic skills like how to make a 3-way call or how to get on Zoom. Whatever it takes, our job is to empower our people with the proper skills. So the whole big kind of picture of building your business looks kind of like this. You're going to build your business until it gets to a point that it's at the tipping point at the top of a mountain, so to speak. And at that point, your business is going to roll ahead of you down this mountain, and there will be people pushing it to where you don't even have to. The momentum will be unstoppable by you because you will have introduced it to enough people. It's out of your hands. It's out of your control. They're telling their friends, their colleagues, their people that they want to bless, and it's out of your hands. But the first step can feel like a lot of work. When you start, it's like you're pushing this boulder up the mountain by yourself, but you're not. If you remember, you have a support team of upline. Even though there's no one downline and it feels like you're kind of alone, you have a support team that are cheering you on, that are walking ahead of you, that are pulling from the front. Even though you may not be able to see them because of the boulder that's between you, they are there and they want your success. But then as you start bringing people on and your upline's helping you close people, pretty soon the load gets lighter and you can start to have fun along the way. Maybe you're playing some games as you walk. Maybe you're doing karaoke. I don't know. Having some fun along the journey, pointing out the good view, having experiences along the way that you can laugh about, remember later. This is where it gets really fun. When you're looking for the fun of building with your team, this is actually one of the most fun parts of building this business. So don't miss it and don't wish it away, waiting for that tipping point. Enjoy the journey. So what if you lose momentum? Momentum can be lost if you disappear on your team or you are not consistent in your actions. You can lose that momentum and the boulder can roll back on you. Not actually, but it kind of feels like that, and your team can fall apart. I've had teams fall apart. I've had momentum fall apart. We've had checks go backward in the past. We've been in this industry for 28 years, so we've kind of seen it all, I think, at this point, and experienced all of it. What happens then? Do you sit back and cry because your team fell apart? No, guys, sometimes you're inconsistent because of things you can't help. Maybe there's an accident. Maybe your family, someone gets very ill. Maybe something happens and you have to move across country, or something happens that really distracts your attention. And those things are unavoidable, but it does have an effect on your team. If you disappear and you're not on the calls and you're not there for them, helping them, people might give up on their dreams, and that's tragic. But it does happen periodically. If it happens, then what? You have to just draw a line in the sand. And we've done it so many times, we still laugh about it. At one point, my husband Eric took me out in the backyard, and we literally took a stick and drew a line in the dirt around our grass. And he literally took my hand and we stepped over the line, because we've done it so many times figuratively. We're like, okay, we need to actually do this because we're not giving up on our dreams. It's absolutely worth it. Your dreams are worth it, and future things that can be blessings for your family are there waiting. Guys, wealth and freedom and retirement doesn't just happen to the few lucky ones. It happens to those that are persistent and don't quit, don't give up. Doesn't matter how many times you have to start over. No one's going to ask you. They only care that you made it to the result and to the goal and to the rank that you want, to the life that is waiting for you in the end. Confucius says our greatest glory is not in never failing and never falling. It's in rising every time we fall. Doesn't matter how many times you have to start over, just keep starting over. So the basic steps and actives will always be here waiting for you to begin your journey, whether you're just starting out and that path lies before you, or whether you got off the path and you need to choose to take the journey and get back on those steps. They are simple. They may not feel easy all the time. Guys, if it was easy, everybody would be millionaires. If it was easy, everybody would have a business that pays them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If it was easy, everybody would have residual income coming in, growing month after month after month. It's not easy, but it's simple, and it's not painful. It's not physically going to hurt you. It's not going to make you hot and sweaty after a long, hard day's work. It's just going to be somebody told you no, and that's a choice how you feel about that. If you just realize it's not the right time for them and you move on, it really doesn't hurt that much. Some people will, some people won't. It's just part of the journey. But the rest of the steps are just a case of doing them over and over and finding the people that it is the right time for, and then putting them on the path. And I promise you it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So to recap the steps, we're going to find people who have a need or a desire. They have a dream. They want more out of life, and they're ready to do something about it. Follow up with them, answer their questions, and then sign them up. If you don't know how to get them to the next step, then use Eric's favorite statement of here's what we need to do next. And you're guiding them through it step by step. Here's what we need to do next. You are there with them on this journey, but don't be afraid to take them to the next step. Lost our play somehow. You know, sometimes we have technical difficulties and we just kind of get through it. Step 3, help them do steps 1 and 2. It's really, really very duplicatable. They will get on the same path that you're already on, and you're going to guide them on that path. Eric has another statement that I love. Do for them what they don't think they can do for themselves until they know they can. At any point, people can take over their business. They can start showing their own presentations. There's no right or wrong time. When their belief is high enough and they're ready to do it, do it. It'll grow faster. Their check will grow faster. But your step is to help them until they're ready for that, and to keep guiding them, to step them forward so that they feel more confident each day with their knowledge, with their enthusiasm. And honestly, they don't need to know, you don't need to know everything about everything in order to start presenting. Sometimes passion is way more effective than knowledge. People get in because of the way you made them feel, not necessarily by all the knowledge that you gave them and all the information and facts that you gave them. So make sure when you're talking to people that you are moving them to a feeling and helping them dream and helping them see how they could be involved and how it could impact their lives. They don't want to just be sold to or told to. They need to be able to feel something in order to want to engage. And then the 4th step is teach them to become leaders. And a lot of the best teaching comes by example. So the steps are simple. I guess that's the end of it. Maybe that's why it keeps taking me out. All right, well, this is the end of my presentation. Please remember these steps. Put your feet on the path and take the steps that are necessary to build your business, because as you do, it'll change your life. It'll change the lives of the people that you've shared this with. It'll change the lives of your family members and the people that you're going to be able to spend the rest of your life making a difference for. It'll change your generations that follow you, because this business is willable to your children and your grandchildren. I promise you it's worth it. Come take this journey with us at ACTIVZ. Put your feet on those basic steps. And if you've gotten off the path, get back on and launch your business. You may have to start your plane again. You may have to put in that initial thrust again, but I promise it's worth it. Have a rest of a great Saturday, everybody. And thanks for spending some time with us today.
That was incredible. Thank you, Trish. Every time I listen to any of our speakers on ACTIVZ Schools, I always learn something new. And I bet anyone within network marketing, if you were to ask them, have you had to start over? I think every single one of them would have to raise their hand. And I know with our next presenter, there are times that she started over as well. And our next presenter is going to be Noemi Garcia. I've known Noemi for a very, very long time. She is an incredible person with a lot of passion, and she is always positive, always positive. There's only been one time I've seen Noemi where she was kind of down, and she reached out to me and she's like, I just don't know what to do. And at that point, she started over with her business as well. And she went out there, she found new leaders, and it was the momentum, and it was the kind of the push that she needed to get to A13. She was at A12 and she was she was kind of down. She was kind of frustrated. She, you know, we had this talk and I said, Noemi, you're going to find some more leaders. You're going to find new leaders and you're going to do this. And she didn't give up. She didn't say, oh, poor me, I'm having a hard time. She dug deep. She got back to her positive attitude and she found those leaders. And it's what she needed to get to that next rank. Her and her husband, Freddie, work this business and they have 2 beautiful children. And I am so proud to be able to introduce our next presenter, Noemi Garcia. So Noemi, we're gonna turn the time over to you.
Thank you so much. It's hard to remember that. It's hard to remember those times where I was down. I've been in A11, I think for over 2 years or a year and a half. And I was so frustrated. But after what you said to me and I started over my business, I got to be A12 and then A13. I got 2 rank advancements in 2 months. So maybe sometimes we just need to be really down to start over and make things different. And I was going to make this recorded, but I didn't want to miss the chance to show you this. Wait for it. Can you see my office now? Oh, I just wanted to share with all of you. This has been my new office for the past 2 weeks. And I wanted to share this with you because it has been part of my growth of the work that I've done with my team. And that's what I want to share with you today, how to grow fast. Yeah, Cruzita, we all want this office. I'm so in love. I'm in a beach at Yucatan in Mexico. And I got to rent an apartment for my family. I got here all my family, like my husband, my kids, but also my mom and my sister-in-law with all her family. And this is great because this is something that I have never dreamed of. I never thought I could do this. And thanks to ACTIVZ and thanks to the life that has changed to me, I can do this. And I'm planning to do this every year in summer. So if anyone wants to join me, you're all welcome here. You do? You want to take Hunter with you? Okay, so let me share my screen with you. Because one of the things that I've been asked a lot is how to be successful. How to be successful. So what did you do to make things happen? What did you do to really become that leader? And I'm going to tell you something that, okay, Angie just told you, but success, Trisha, welcome here. Success happens in your first 30 days. And if it's not your first 30 days, don't worry. Take today as your day number 1. But you really want to do this because I was hearing Trisha say how sometimes we take this like a hobby and we pack all our luggage and then we just don't start. And 80% of the people that get into ACTIVZ do that. So I think we have to get in action and I'm going to give you some numbers because that's my major, but well, success loves speed. And you know, we've heard this a lot of times. If you go into a plane, when a plane starts to fly, it has to go full speed. If it's not full speed, it doesn't go up. And then if you're up, you can plan, you can maybe slow down a little bit. But on your first 30 days, you have to really speed all the way down. So Trisha already told us about what the things that we all know have to do every day. We all have to invite, present, follow up, and enroll. We keep thinking that there's like a magic pill or some trick to get to the top, and it's not. We know this. For the first day, we have to invite, present, follow up, and enroll. So sometimes when we get into this business, we think about ACTIVZ. Maybe you can relate to this. You wake up and say, oh, I'm going to call this person and that, oh, wait, I'm going to make breakfast and then I'll continue working. And then you keep thinking and keep thinking and keep thinking, and it comes the night and you haven't done everything except thinking about your business. But it's not the same to think and than to do. So do you really want to become a leader? That's the question. Because if you really do, you have to become one. Become one, and that's totally your responsibility, because success only comes to people that take action. And the difference is people that only think and people that actually do, people that take action. So what's our daily operating method? The things that we have to be doing every day. New contacts, getting to know new people, go out there, meet your neighbors, connect with your old high school friends, make calls, do presentations and follow-ups. And here's my first tip. I'm going to give you many tips today, but my first tip is write down your real activity. Get a planner and don't write what you think you're going to do. You write down what you are actually doing, not what you're thinking of doing, not ahead. You write down exactly, okay, today I called Randy. Today I gave a presentation to Barbara. Today I made a follow-up with Matthew. That's what you're going to write, what you are actually doing. Because that way, if the next week you're not getting paid, if you're not getting a check next week, you can go to your planner and say, oh, that's right. Last week I didn't do anything. So it's for your own evaluation. Because sometimes, okay, I'm in ACTIVZ every day and I'm thinking and I don't get paid. Of course not, because you're only thinking, not doing. That's what my first tip is, to write down your real activity, not only your thoughts, okay? Tip number 2, take action. Learn all the skills that we've talked about and Tricia talked about. Follow up, enroll people, invite, give presentations, but also get to know your back office. What do you want to do in your back office? Because many people haven't even been in their back office. You have to connect to the system, get to every meeting, every Zoom meeting, every testimonial meeting, every ACTIVZ school. But what do you want to know about your back office? You have to know how to enroll, how to shop, how to see your own volume, and how to watch your team's volume. What are they doing? Are they enrolling? Are they making their auto ships? Because numbers are exact. They don't lie. Numbers don't lie. You can actually see in your back office if your team is making presentations or not. They can tell you anything. But in your back office, you're going to know the real thing. Okay, so you need to practice. If you don't know how to do these things, enroll, shop, see your volume, and see your team, you have to get in your back office and practice, and then get your team to do it. Show them how to do this. Okay, so how do I keep my team motivated? And I really love Tisha's presentation just before mine. How many times we have to make this line in the sand? And we've been there. And people say, okay, how do I keep my team motivated? Because I call them and maybe I even stalk them and they are not here. They are not buying. They are not making presentations. How do I keep them motivated? And maybe, okay, so I'm going to give you some stats, some statistics. That's my major, actually, statistics. But we'll make 2 examples, okay? And write down this, because we're going to have 2 examples. First example is a distributor that doesn't enroll anyone in his first month. A distributor that just enrolls and that's it. Okay, the statistics about that distributor is that 6% of them will enroll 2 distributors in the time they remain in ACTIVZ. And only 1% will enroll 10 distributors. Only 1% will get to the 500 club. Okay? I'm waiting, Matthew. So you can write down this. Okay, so A distributor, let me say this again. A distributor that doesn't enroll anyone in his first month. They will keep sharing the information. They will keep, but just like a hobby, they will go real slow. Only 6% will enroll 2. Only 1% of those distributors will enroll 10. We'll get to the 500 club. Okay. So what if we help our new distributors to enroll at least one person on their first month? Only one person. If we help them to get one person enrolled, 61% of them will enroll 2 more. Do you see this? If we help them to get their first distributor enrolled, 61% of them will enroll 2 more, and 16% of them will enroll 10 distributors. 16% will get to 500 club. Okay, so that's the whole difference. If you want to make your team motivated, guess what? Help them to get their first check in their first 30 days. That's the magic. This is okay. Let me put this easier for you. People who don't get a check in their first month, only 6% will enroll 2 more, 1% will enroll 10 more. If you help them get their first check within their first 30 days, 61% will keep going. 61% will bring more people, and 16% will get to 500 club. Do you see the difference? That's just one tiny difference in our responsibility, in our to-do list. Just help them to get one person, one distributor on their first 30 days. And that's how your team gets to momentum. Imagine that every people that you bring in get one check. There's no greater motivation than getting a paycheck. Because even though we're sharing about health, we're sharing our dreams, everyone wants to see this is a reality. Everyone wants to see this is for this actually works for them, and that they can actually do it. And that first paycheck and that first check, that's the dream come true. It doesn't matter if it's $10 or $200, they are seeing that they can actually do this, and they will keep going because they have this sense of achievement. So that's the magic, okay? So see why I love statistics? I don't lie. Okay, tip number 4. I already told you, teach them how to build their first check. That's the $1 million idea. Their first check in their first 30 days. Okay, so we've talked in other active schools about leadership with purpose. Do you remember? Leadership with purpose is that we develop skills that lead us to put our talents in service of others. So today, but the key is develop skills. Today you have more skills than you did yesterday. Today you have more skills. Now you have more skills than 2 hours before. You know how to follow the system. That's our success guide. You know the daily operating method, the things that you have to do daily to be successful. And you now know how to help your team to get their check on their first 30 days. Now you know it. So the real question is, how long would it take you to put those skills in service of others? You got them now. You've written them. Put them in the service of others. That's actually leadership with purpose. And get your team to help their team, to help their distributors to get one first check. It doesn't matter if it's their first 30 days, but you can pretend today is your day 1. Imagine how your business will grow. Today is 13, right? So we have half the month to get to new ranks. Half the month to be successful and make our team successful. So teach them this. There's only 58 of us here. Today, there's only 58 of us, and there are millions of people out there. So let's put our skills in service of others. Take control of your life, because this is our responsibility. We have a moral responsibility to keep sharing this opportunity, this health opportunity, this financial opportunity, this freedom opportunity, and that's in our hands. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon in Mexico, hopefully at the beach. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noemi. That was wonderful. I'm still in awe of the view that you showed us this morning before your presentation. Man, I cannot talk too much.
That's real, not like yours.
Yes,
mine is
I
real.
was gonna say, it's too dark for me to show you what outside, but it looks like that. And no other place better than viewing the ocean. We'll rub it into David and Angie, who's landlocked there in Salt Lake City or in Utah. And believe me, the Salt Lake does not equal to salt beaches. So thank you so much for your presentation. Wow, isn't that wonderful, everyone, on that statistics? 6% if you don't sign up or they don't get a check in their first month, but it jumps to 61% if they sign up one person or get one. That's 10 times the difference. And so I don't know about you, but numbers speaks volumes on what success you can have or success that you may not realize. So Noemi, thank you so much for sharing those things and the words. And I mean, I'm excited on what has been shared by our wonderful leaders. They have been in the trenches with each and every one of you. They have been successful, much like those on this call and the many that not on this call, but what they say are real. And it's real life stories that they have shared, and back to the basics and what you can do in your first 30 days. Great advice. So with that being said, I will turn the time over to David Brown, who will be introducing our last speaker.
Thanks, Stu. Hey, and thanks, Noemi and Trish. Absolutely great stuff. There's no surprise as to why you guys are such great leaders and you're having the success. If you want to know if you're treating your business like a hobby or a business, just ask yourself, are you doing the things that these two talked about? If you are, then you are having success and you're treating it like a business. If you're not, then you're probably not having much success and it's more like a hobby. And again, there's no judgment there, but if you want to achieve what they've achieved, it's really important to follow those basic principles. Really, really great stuff. Noemi has a lot in common with my wife. And that is they're both married to short, handsome lawyers. Okay, well, Noemi is, my wife's not, but anyway, that's tell Freddie I complimented him. And I also like what Jessica Molina put in the chat. Let's treat today like it's our first day of the 30 days. Good advice, Jessica. I'm glad to see that. And it's great to be with you. Well, the next person we're going to introduce might be a stranger to some of you, but frankly, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. And he's kind of one of every organization, every family, every successful group of any type, any successful team has some of those who remain in the background, but without whose support and involvement, there just wouldn't be an organization. So Randy and I have known each other since 2008, when I became the CEO of LifeVantage. LifeVantage is a publicly held company, and it still is. And he had helped raise money for it. He's an investment advisor, a securities broker, and had helped raise money there. And see if any of you can relate to some of this. You might say, well, what do I have in common with a guy like Randy Haig? Well, you probably don't have the same golf scores. Randy is known for being one of the top amateur golfers in the world. In fact, one of the things he likes to talk about is, I mean, I couldn't even list. We would be here for the next hour if I listed all the championships and all the things that he's won and the medals, whether he's been over at, golfing as an amateur in major championships like the British Open, the US Open, any of these things. But one of the things he's told me about in the past is beating Tiger Woods, I believe, for the Cal Amateur Championship. He then rarely tells you that I think Tiger Woods was only 9 years old at the time, but he did beat him. I can't remember what the thing was there, Randy, but he's very well known. But what's interesting is that, see if this sounds familiar. When he was asking people to invest in LifeVantage, when we needed to raise money or in the early days, the company was what was called a pink sheet stock. It was a penny stock, 7 cents, 10 cents. And what people will always say is, wait a minute, those companies are always shady. Nobody makes any money in those companies. There's no way we're going to invest money. And yet, because of his belief and because of his own personal reputation, we were able to raise the money that was necessary to keep LifeVantage in business. Now, fast forward to ACTIVZ. We get together, he and I and Ryan Thompson, we say we'd like to start another company. And I didn't have the sufficient resources to fund it entirely by myself. And the three of us, we knew we needed some additional investors. So again, see if what he does in his business sounds like what you do in your business. He made a list of people that he thought might be interested in the company. They were friends, they were colleagues, they were people that he'd come in contact with. He had to then give a presentation. He had to talk about the leadership of the company. Who was going to be running this thing? What were the products? Why was the timing good? What made it different than anything else? We were going to be a closely held company, so we had to overcome, which means it wasn't public and people couldn't get their money back right away. And so we had to convince them, well, here's how you get your money back. Here's a return on your investment. And you had to overcome objections like, well, nobody makes any money. All these deals fail. You never do anything like that. And so, and then you had to talk about what the investment was. Now, all of these things are things that you as distributors talk about with other people. And yet when you get to the point of asking people to invest and to get involved in the company, you're usually talking about having them invest $240 or $500 on a pack. Randy's story is a little different. He's asking them to invest in a company that's just getting going, that wasn't profitable yet, had some great opportunities and some great experience behind it. But oh, by the way, would you invest 6 figures? Would you invest 7 figures? And let's do that. And so he can relate very much to your experience as distributors in sharing business opportunities. He's helped us get to where we are. He's actually a newly elected member of our board of directors. And he's going to tell us about some of his experiences, why he wanted to be involved with ACTIVZ, why others have put their money where their mouth is and wanted to be involved in ACTIVZ. And I think he can also tell some experiences of people who are already having great benefits from the fact that we started this company that's now changing lives all over the world. So with no further ado, and I hope I didn't steal all your thunder, Randy, but it's great to see you. We're looking forward to a great presentation. Thanks for being with us today. And you're on mute.
Mute myself. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you how excited and thrilled I am to be here with all of you and to listen to Noemi and Tricia about your expertise at how to grow a network marketing business. My journey was a little bit different. I actually tried network marketing when I was in college, and I thought I was a great salesman, and I did everything wrong, and I failed miserably. And I got into the investment banking business, and like many, I learned, many valuable lessons over the years. And the number one lesson I learned was that investing is like anything in life. It has to do with people. It has to do with the quality of the people. It has to do with the integrity of the people. And whether it's the greatest widget in the world, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I can remember the day that I met David Brown. I'm trying to help this struggling penny stock company, which had a product, by the way, that I believed in. I had some other fellow investment bankers that had introduced me to this product. And the first year I took the product, I didn't get sick. And I was like, wow, this is, maybe I'm eating healthy. Maybe this isn't really working. And then the next year I was Northern California Player of the Year, and I didn't get sick that year again. And then the following year I was Northern California Player of the Year. And I'm going, this might have, this might actually be working. So I felt strongly about the product. And what I didn't feel strongly about was the management of this company. And I saw that this was going to be problematic until the day that David Brown showed up. And David had he's a lawyer, he's, speaks Japanese, he's got all these great accolades and had some great success in his career. And I asked him, I said, David, why are you considering coming aboard this little penny stock company that's got lots of problems? And David actually said the same thing I did. He said, the world needs to know about this product. This product is an important product and it works. And at that moment, I said, this is the man that I can tie my ship to, because he has the same vision that I do. And it wasn't easy. I think when David joined, he certainly did not realize all the skeletons that were looming in the closet. Matter of fact, there were so many skeletons that we almost didn't make it. But when we were fortunate to, acquire some other human assets, like the names of Ryan Thompson and Angie, this company really took hold. And again, it's a credit to the people, because, the financial awards were great. These guys, we took this company from go to Vitamin Shop and try to find the product to, a network marketing company with some real people behind it that believed in the product. And, as an investment banker and somebody that brought my people into an investment that worked, this stock went from 10 cents to $4, and it changed people's lives. Now, they weren't all distributors, they were investors in this company, but due to David and his team, the success was tremendous. And it was because of the people at the end of the day. So fast forward, 2016, I had worked a full year on launching a crowdfunding platform, which I was very excited about. It had some challenges to it, and I wasn't sure that in my heart of hearts, it was really something I wanted to do. And I got a call from David in July of 2016. I was just about ready to leave to England to participate in the British Open and the British Amateur. And David said to me, he said, Randy, you're one of the best people I've ever worked with. You've raised money in the past. You're always there. You supported me. And I want to do it. I want to do this again, but I want to do this, bigger and better than maybe anybody has ever done it before. And I cannot tell you all how excited I was at that moment when I knew in my heart of hearts that this is what I wanted to do. It was where I needed to be. And over the course of, a period of time, it took a while to formulate this business and get it launched and get it off the ground. And we met with Ryan Thompson, and, it was like bringing the old team back together with Angie and David, said, I'm handpicking the best of the best. Like in anything, whether it's network marketing or investing in a business, it all comes down to the same formula. It's the people that you're attaching your ship to. So, a lot of you probably don't know that this company, during one of the most difficult periods of time in history during this pandemic, has increased its revenue, almost quadruple its revenue since January of 2020. And I am very proud of this team and all of you out there that have contributed to that incredible success. Now, David's correct. It's when a company's losing money and you're going through a pandemic, asking people to invest in an opportunity is maybe not the easiest thing. Let me tell you what made this easy, though. Besides the track record of success that we've had at previous businesses, a lot of the people that I approached, and quite honestly, it's really the first time in my career I approached my best friends, people that I want to see the rest of my life, the people that I want to enjoy golf with. With a lot of them, I just said, I've started, co-founded a new company, and I believe that we have some products that are different than anything else out on the marketplace. And I'll back up a little bit, because one of the things that I've grown to know about David Brown is that he has one of the keenest eyes for products, what works, what doesn't work, and the time and the care that he spends on sourcing something that he wants to put his name and our name and bring out to the general masses and the public and the people. And I can assure you that every single product that we have right now has had a tremendous amount of time and energy and thought put into. So I tested the products. Actually, one of my golfing buddies had horrible arthritis, and he was taking injections in his hands, and he's a golfer, and your hands are very important in golf. And I just said, I'm going to let you try this product. I think it'll help you. There was no talk of any type of investing. There was no try the product and, I want you to invest in the company. He tried the product. He reported back about 6 months later and said, Randy, it's unbelievable. This Optimum, I no longer have to take these injections. My doctor is befuddled at how this has improved my condition that was chronic for many, many years. His golf game improved. And then coincidentally, he said, if there was any opportunity to invest in your company, I would certainly consider that. So he became an investor. I've reached out to people that I really like, people that I've really enjoyed, the people that I want to see and be successful with this opportunity. Matter of fact, on my phone right now, I'm following one of our investors who's on the PGA Tour. He happens to have won 3 PGA Tour events, and he's a Cal grad here from Berkeley and a local Bay Area native. And he's a very smart guy. And when I introduced him to the company and the products, his comment was, Randy, it's almost too good to be true. So I think that, when you're considering joining a family, which this is, I think of this company more as a family than I do as a company, because there's people here that really care. You can see the people that have spoke previously. These are people that really care, that will take the time to help you with your business. You are not alone on an island here. I'm telling you, the products that we're going to be coming out with in the future are going to be equally as good as the ones we have now. I've learned so much over the last couple of years, terms like epigenetics and immune system and the timing of our products and the opportunity. I honestly have never seen an opportunity in 30 years in business that's not better positioned than where we're at right now with this epidemic, this pandemic that's occurred, where people now are aware of, I need to bolster my immune system. Every single product that we have boosts your immune system. So one of the great benefits of being an investor is that we provide them with our products. Those that not everybody is taking our products, but those that are taking our products are raving about them. And some of these people are influencers, and they're people that are, very well-known people in the communities and the investment world. And these things are going to provide us with great benefit down the road. For those of you that are looking to join a company that's really at the greatest inflection point of its growth, right now is the time, because I see that, I don't know that we'll become as large as Herbalife one day, but I do know that this company is going to grow and continue to grow, especially with the foundation and the people that we have involved with this. I couldn't be prouder being involved in a company. I'm super excited about the future of this company, and it's really a supreme pleasure to be able to be on this call and to be introduced to all of you. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Randy. That was great. And it's interesting that the people that you reach out to, that all of us reach out to, we put our reputations on the line. You know, Randy has told me before in the past, he said, David, this has got to work. These are some of my best friends. And I don't want this to fail because, you know, I'll lose my friends. I'll lose all this kind of stuff. And I said, Randy, it's not going to fail. And there have been times, okay, along the course of ACTIVZ, especially during the early days of the pandemic, where as a new struggling company, you know, most companies, whether they're in network marketing or not, they don't make it. They fail. And they fail because they run out of money before they get enough interest in their products and in their services and what they're doing. And so you got to have enough, I refer to it as a runway. You've got to have enough money to stay alive until you start gaining that traction. And like Trish said, until you, or now I'm mixing them up. It may have been Noemi. The speed was, whoever mentioned the speed of the airplane at the beginning. That yeah, you gotta go fast, and so you can get up off the ground. And Randy really helped us get over some difficult times. And I'm happy to report that the company is more solid than it ever was. This is why it's such a great time to be part of ACTIVZ, because we're solid. We have the resources, we have the team, we have the experience. It's interesting, Noemi and Jessica and others that are joining us from Mexico will be interested in this comment. Someone said to me just the other day, who happens to be, well, I was hearing that she's related to me, and she married my nephew, and she's from Mexico originally, but now she lives in the United States. And it was reported to me by my brother-in-law that she said, oh, this will never work. These products are way too expensive. No one in Mexico will ever buy these, and I just don't think this will ever be successful. And I said, well, you know, she ought to tune into the call tomorrow, because we're going to have a lot of distributors, a lot of leaders who are in Mexico. And it's interesting. I said, they have the wrong viewpoint. If they're focusing on the price of the products as simply they're just going to be a customer, as opposed to how those products help them be. I said, the people in Mexico are joining and succeeding. They're not focused on the price of the products. They're focused on the building the company and showing people how they how they have a benefit. If you really thought about it, yeah, there's lots of things that are expensive in Mexico, the United States, wherever, but people still buy cars, they still buy houses, they still buy clothing, they still buy expensive basketball shoes or purses or whatever, and they prioritize what's important to them. And what you're all doing is just showing people something that's really super important and benefiting from it. So it was just kind of interesting. I thought that those of you from Mexico would get a kick out of somebody saying, "Oh, it's impossible, it'll never work." I'm like, well, it's our strongest market. It seems to be working so far. But it also, just in closing, I was down last night at Troy Olson's house. He's in Monroe, Utah. Hi, Troy. He's that handsome guy with the great looking hairdo right there. You know, I'm not saying it's necessary to shave your head to succeed in this company, but it might help, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm just kidding. Neither Trish nor Noemi or anybody else has had to shave their head. But it's great. You know, yeah, Noemi talked about these early days, and it can be kind of tough, and you lose your momentum, gain your momentum back. And Trish said the same thing. But, you know, I was able to, over the past couple of days, travel to central Utah, meet with some of you that are on the call today, and go to these small towns. And it's great. These are the days you look back on, and yeah, they're kind of tough, but they're kind of like the early days of a marriage where you didn't have that much money, and you couldn't do really expensive things. You didn't have a nice car. But then later on, when you're older in life, you're like, and those days were kind of fun. You know, it was just really those early struggling days were fun. And we'll look back on some of these early days in your business and in our business, and with really fond memories. And so I'm glad that I was able to be at Troy's house and then be in Orangeville, Utah, the night before. You know, Jessica's wearing her orange T-shirt, and Noemi was flashing her orange phone case, and so you guys would be very welcome in Orangeville, because it's, you know, it's an active town, and we went there, and it was awesome. And isn't it great to know that whether you are in Mexico, Peru, the state of Washington, the state of Hawaii, Monroe, Utah, wherever, we're all kind of linked in this family that Randy just talked about. And isn't it interesting to know that you're not on your own? Even at your darkest moments of self-doubt thinking, no one's going to listen to me. I don't think I can do this business. You know, at the end of the day, pick up a phone, remind yourself of these people who are cheering for you, not just cheering for you, but probably are praying for you as they pray for themselves. And we're all in this together. And I can tell you what, that this collective joint effort. There was an old Quaker named John Greenleaf Whittier who once said, "You lift me and I'll lift thee and we'll both ascend together," which means we'll just all lift each other up. And that's what's happening at ACTIVZ, and it's great. And all of you participating today are part of those people who are helping us push that boulder up the hill that Trish was talking about. And at the top of the hill, I can tell you the view is wonderful, and we're just barely getting started. And the other good thing that happens along the way is that you're pushing those boulders. Guess what? Your muscles get stronger. Your ability to do things increases. You have accomplishments and experiences along the way. And the best part of it, like everyone on this call has said, the best part of all of this are the people who you meet, who change your lives and whose lives you change. So thanks for being on the phone call with us today. It's been great. The presentations have been wonderful. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Noemi. Thank you, Randy. And Stu and Angie, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, David. Really appreciate your kind closing words. And once again, I want to reiterate what David said. Truly blessed and happy and edified more than anything else on the wonderful presentations given by Trisha, Noemi, and the kind words that Randy presented as well at the very end. And Randy, I'm gonna take up David's offer that he told me I get to golf with you next time. So
not a problem.
We got to plan one of those days.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for being on the call. Thank everyone for being on the call. On a side note, I just want to congratulate everyone for joining us today, because it was by far the most participants that joined us. Therefore, Angie, shall we?
Yes, we shall. So we are going to do our raffle. I'm going to stop the recording